Now, similar to spinner, one more is there, progress. Already we learned progress bar, right? You see, suppose here, this is different. In Bootstrap, we have progress. In Bootstrap, we have progress. Bootstrap progress, it is having classes. So Bootstrap progress related some important classes are there. What are the classes for progress? We have progress and we have progress bar. We have progress bar stripped. So we have progress bar. So animated. These are progress actually. So we can use spinners and we can use progress. Progress is also used for displaying the status. Status of any task we can display by using the progress. So we have a HTML. In HTML we learned progress. That is different. So here progress how we design is, suppose let's see another one. I'm just adding a progress container. We put a class called progress. Usually progress will display like this. That's a progress. A gray strip is there, right? Now in this progress, we can add a container. This will be treated as progress bar. But this progress bar, how much it should display, that is defined with actually this progress bar will have style and width. Width I given as suppose 30%. 30% is the width. That means this is how it looks. So we can have suppose some 20% is like this. Actually later with JavaScript we show it continuously growing, right? You can have multiple actually. Suppose this progress is 20%. You can add some text. So 20% completed. You can put some text. We can add multiple bars. Suppose I'm using a class progress bar and this will have style and this have width. Suppose this is 60%. 60%. So or suppose some 70% like this. And here, so here we are defining some 70%. So 70% weighting. So weighting like this. I will define like this. We can put a different color for that. So we can add the class PG some warning. That is how it will display. We can put here, so completed, then we will keep PG success. It will display in this way. So not started, that means due. So class, the progress bar and PG danger and the style. So width is 10%. So 10%, so here 10%, 10% not initialized like this, some message. So just 10% NA, some I just given roughly, right? We can have so many animation for that. You see this is progress bar. I can keep progress bar. We have stripped. So stripped, yeah. You can see this is stripped, like slightly slanted. That is a stripped type of progress bar. Progress bar stripped, you can give for this one. Success also stripped, danger also stripped. This is progress bar stripped. It will display like this. You can have animated also. That means progress bar animated. We can give animated. It will be moving. That progress bar will be slightly moving there. So we can keep such animated. These progress bars are very important for showing status. That means how much percent completed, how much percent remaining, all such things we design using this. This is just design. Our JavaScript is going to move it, right? So slowly incrementing, decrementing the value, and the bar will change and display. This is all done by using progress. Stripped spelling is this. Okay. So syntactically we write like this. We have a div. So class as progress. In this you keep a class as progress bar. So BG success, progress bar stripped, and progress bar animated. Like this we can add. And we need a style. Style is compulsory with some 40%. We can keep text 40% completed. So this is div. That is the progress bar. I just added one progress inside it. So there can be any number. You can share among 100%, right? So to show the status of any task being performed in the page, we have spinners and we have progress. Next, in the Bootstrap options. So we have another one is the option Navbar. This is another very important. How we design a Navbar. Navbar is actually, yesterday we saw that is tabs. So this is a dynamic navigation bar, right? That means you see here a dynamic navigation bar. So with the responsive design. You know the meaning of responsive design. Responsive design means it adjusts according to the browser. It can change according to browser. So how this works? For that we have so many classes. So what are the classes for Navbar? Actually we have Navbar. And we have Navbar expand, LG, SM, so Excel like that. So we have Navbar now, navigation. We have Navbar toggler. So Navbar toggler icon. We have Navbar brand. So here we can use the option Navbar have collapse. So Navbar have these options, and we use previous options also here. Previous options means in previous navbar what you saw. We have nav item, we have like nav text, we have like nav link. These are related to previous one. Yesterday we learned some nav tabs. Those are also used here. Because here we can use all combinations. We can design and use all combination. So let's see how this works actually. What is the concept of this navbar? So let's open. I will add a new file. So navbar.html. And in this, let's create a div. We have colors for navbar. I haven't given. We have like navbar dark. We have like navbar light. These are colors. So dark and light. With BG success, if I give BG success, that BG success you can keep dark or you can keep light. That's so here for this div I am using class navbar and navbar expand LG. Expand is compulsory for making the navbar responsive. Many times people miss this and it will not work. Right? Navbar will work, responsiveness will not work. To make responsive navbar, it's compulsory that this option is added. So either expand LG or expand SM or expand XL you can use. So here we use navbar dark and BG I say dark. So background dark I am giving. This is actually an empty navbar. Now in this navbar, so there is nothing inside. In this navbar we put a heading. So this is like some shopper. This is company name. Usually those company names are referred as Navbar brand. Navbar brand is used for titles. For titles in the navigation bar, we use that brand. Actually, this inside the navbar, again we have an habit of writing class as container fluid. Container fluid. Container fluid. Container fluid makes responsive. Right? So this is the navbar we are having. This is the original size actually. Now in this navbar we have a button and this button is called class as navbar toggler. Navbar toggler will have an icon called navbar toggler icon. That is the icon. And you see there is no navbar button and icon because this is a responsive navbar. You see now when I am adjusting the width of the window width I am adjusting, then the button comes. You can keep that button anywhere. So let's keep the button here. Heading here. Now you can see the button comes here. When I am expanding width I am adjusting, that button will disappear. That means the button will come when there is less width. So usually what happens is we have to design a navigation inside. That means I am creating an unordered list. So this will have a class. So navbar. So this is actually nav. This is the nav area actually. So this is generally Navbar's navigation. We can add so many different, depends on requirement. Actually, this will have a option like, this will have a like Navbar collapse. Navbar collapse. And usually collapse, I will give an item. How do we can define that? First, I will put Navbar now, and inside this li. This is nav item. In this anchor, so href is hash. So this is class as nav link. Nav link. And here we define some home. Okay, this is the list item we are having. Okay, we have home, we have blog, so we have pages, something like this. We have like login. So these are the options. You see, this is the nav bar. So nav item, nav link. Here I am just giving a span. So let's say class as nav text. That is the nav text we are having. So initially there is no href na. Later we will keep href, because again href I need to change the colors. So this is general link. href means we will make them clickable later, right? This is a navbar navigation. This is nav. This is the navigation we are having. That is nav. Now in this nav, so we have nav item. So this is nav text. Colors for links we can change. What colors we want, we can define for them. So usually I will use one more option here. All are having spanner, right? So I will keep a span. So the class as what? Nav text. Okay, so this is nav text. So class nav text. Okay. Generally what happens now is span. So class nav text. Okay, so usually these items which we have at the top, so these are all anchors. So when we define these nav items, when I adjust the width of that, so you see shopper will come and the button will come, then actually this must collapse. That menu should collapse. Even if I define like, so text white like this, that means it will not display, because that is which color, default link colors are different, right? As of now, suppose I am using, so BG dark, I remove that, then you can see now. So the navbar dark also I am removing. So this is normal now. When you are adjusting it, so then it will get that menu and display the menu, right? That depends on how you create. Later I can give the colors. We will give the colors, because just I want to show you the links, how they look like. You can add, so BG light, so and BG primary like this. You can see navbar BG primary is enough. So navbar light, it will display like this. Colors, you can add any kind of colors you want. Just I will give the normal option like this. Now what should happen when we adjust the size? You can see the button will come. Even you increase the zoom, you may increase the zoom, or you can adjust the window. Now what should happen? This must be collapsible. This must be collapsible. This navigation should be collapsible. So then what you can do is, so this we can add as, so collapsible means we can use navbar collapse. So, and we have collapse. Collapse will be there. And we need an ID for collapse. ID is some menu. So that means that is how it looks like now. Usually what happens is when I am adjusting the width, it will hide. When you are adjusting the width, then those menus will come. The menus will display when you are adjusting it. Right? The menu items will be displayed there when you are adjusting. So what we will do is, actually, suppose for list item, I am adding here itself. Suppose class is there. So now item. I will keep the now item, that is okay. We will later put the color. Now what should happen when we adjust this? On this button click, it should open again. Then how do we do that? You know how to control this collapse now. On button click. On button click means data BS target. Target is hash menu. Data BS toggle. Toggle is what? Collapse. Collapse should toggle. That is what we need to do. And you see when I click on that, it should open that and display. We can put the orientation any way we want. Vertical, horizontal, anyway. So that means it is like a menu. So we need to keep that as a menu item. So usually there will be another option like now menu, right? Suppose for unordered list, I'm not using. This is for a div. For a div. Inside the div, we are having, so unordered list like this we are adding. So in the div unordered list, for them we are adding these options. That means that depends on how you display. Right? Vertically, horizontally, how you want to add. Actually, this can have another class, some navbar. Right? So usually navbar, it will display side by side. These are ready-made classes available. So what you can do is, if you want to know various varieties of presentation of same toolbar, currently toolbar is there, right? So if you want different ways of presentation of this toolbar, then you can see their documentation. In the documentation, they will give you several samples. In which style you want, you can apply. Because everybody don't have the same requirement, right? Then you can explore their samples. You can see them and you can handle, right? Just you have to visit the website. So let's go to this website. So what is that website? Get Bootstrap. In this website, go to documents. In the documents, you will see here the components. In the components, almost we learned so many: accordion, alerts, badges, button group, card, carousel, close button, collapse, drop downs, right? And we learned model, nav bar, nav and tabs, paginations, progress we learned. Others, why we haven't learned? Because they need combination of JavaScript, jQuery combination is required for them. You see now, when we go to the Navbar, you see this is the Navbar document. They give different designs. You can see here a design with search bar. Right? You can see there is a design here. So a design with normal brand name, a design with logo. Right? You can see a design with certain items. Right? They are giving a design with items. And you can see here another one. These are all different designs. Means they will give you different designs. Where is it? Yeah, you can see different effects. For that, what are the options needed? So already I showed you. You see, they are asking to apply this theme. Actually, what I showed is Navbar dark. So that is the option. But recently, this is very latest. Just few days back, they added one more new feature, and they said that don't use any more Navbar dark or Navbar light. We changed that with a new option, database theme. Database theme. It is a very recent one, but Navbar dark is working. You have seen that. Navbar dark, Navbar light, it works. But they are saying that from future versions, don't try that because we made the changes here. Because every latest version changes will happen. So you cannot stick to the notes for every concept forever. Because every few days some new things may come. Right? That's the reason. So here you can see color themes, placements, so many will be there. We can add all these designs and we can implement for that. And see, everything we have defined. And one more option is, this is Navbar navigation. So this is nav item. So this is nav link, some active, right? So directly this is collapse and Navbar collapse. If we can follow the same style, we will get same appearance. For example, according to that style, if I design, already we used what? This is Navbar collapse. For unordered list, what they do, they are using what? Navbar what? Nav. And these are nav items and nav links, right? Usually now the appearance will be like this. I will use one thing now. Actually, I am using Navbar dark, which will work now, no problem. Navbar dark will work. For that, we need to add what? BG dark. You can see that is working. So I am using Navbar as BG as primary. Then it will be like this. I will change Navbar as what? Light. That means it will be light. Color theme will be changing. But now recently what they're saying that don't use this. You use another attribute. What is it? Yeah, they are asking to use an attribute. Data PS theme. Theme is what? They have a dark theme. That means the dark theme will be there. So PG dark. I am just giving as PG dark. So dark theme, which theme? Colors. What is the theme? Yeah. Database theme dark, PG dark. Database theme dark and PG dark. So this is database dark. In the Navbar only, yes. But I think we installed previous version of Bootstrap. Here already they are showing new from 5.2 is, this is the new theme. Earlier we have Navbar light. That is replaced now. It is replaced with what? Database. Okay, fine. I will just use this one only. BG dark is enough. And Navbar what? Dark. That is the Navbar we are having. And when we adjust the width of this window, then it will come like this. And I click on that, it will expand. And again click and it will hide. That is a simple navigation bar. So we are adjusting the width of that, then automatically it fit with the menu items. When width is adjusted, that means usually when you are watching on mobile, Navbar items will not come. Directly a toggler will come. And in the toggler, you can click to expand and collapse. Right? That you can control. And in that, you can put anything you want. So, for example, you see already their designs are there, you try them. Here, another list item I am adding, class as nav item. And in this, I am adding a text box. Input type is text and class as form control. And I will give here, this is okay, this is button. In the button, we have a span. So class BI, what search. Search. And this have a placeholder search. Okay, this is just option defined. And for this, we have a input group. We learned all this input group now. Right now, you can see a search bar will come. For this button, we will put a class PTN. PTN, suppose warning. Okay, and it will display in this way a search bar. We can add anything there. And when we are adjusting, then automatically in the nav bar, the search one comes. And when you are adjusting that, you can make this search center right. Already we learned about deflex, right? We can keep flexible and we can use the option, what is it? Justify content center, right? So you can adjust accordingly, right? This is a simple dynamic navigation bar. Right. So this is done by using so many combinations, right? So this is just a combination of all of them, right? I will give in syntactically here. So just the basic syntax for this is, what are mandatory I am giving here. We have, so a div with a class navbar. Mandatory is navbar expand LG. So we have navbar some dark, PG dark. That is one option. And inside the navbar, make sure that you have a container fluid. Otherwise, you will feel disturbance in alignments. Just to avoid that. And we can have a heading. This is called as Navbar brand. And usually we will have a button. This is called as Navbar toggler. So, and this button usually have a span. Navbar toggler icon. And under this button, you need to create a container. This container will be using Navbar collapse and collapse. Just design I am giving, functionality I am not giving. It will have an ID menu. In this, we need to create a navbar. This is, generally in website you will get all, but it is lot of confusion there because they mix up all the features. So I'm just giving simply what is needed. So you have unordered list with a class navbar now. In that you have class nav item. We have class nav link. And we can keep some span. So this is like home and close the span and anchor and list item. That's one option is enough. Because I will upload the complete example, but this is the combination how you need to design. Now, so a simple note is Bootstrap 5.3 introduced new themes, for Navbar. So data BS theme is equal to dark, or you can give as light. So this is a simple Navbar how to define. So that is example. I will give this one. Let's copy this. So this is the complete example for that Navbar, right? So these are all the options for creating a responsive navigation bar. What is difference between nav and Navbar? You saw last session nav, right? So that is tab-based navigation. Tab-based navigation we design by using nav. Responsive navigation by using Navbar, right? Next, another one in Bootstrap. So for Bootstrap, you need to know another option is tables. Tables. What are the classes for tables? Bootstrap have special classes for tables that makes more simple. So we have table hover. So table contextual. Contextual means primary danger and all. Table bordered, and we have table stripped, borderless, and we have table stripped, and we have like table responsive. These are all table related options. So table hover, table contextual, table bordered, table borderless, table stripped, table responsive. These are good for presenting tables. If you have ready-made table related effects will be there, you can add them. So here we are creating the table. Suppose let's design a table. So here we are creating some page. Yeah. And we are adding so a heading like products table. So we already learned how to design a table. Table will have so T head, TR, TH. So we have name, we have price, we have some stock. Like this, we have details. And here we have T body. In the TR, TD. So this is some name, some mobile, and TD, some price, and TD, so some stock available. And like this, suppose I have another row, let's keep an empty row, TD, and ampersand NBSP semicolon. It's a blank space. I will copy that here. And I am adding like this so many rows. We have a table with a lot of rows. Usually you can have footer and all, whatever. You already learned table. Now this looks like this. Generally we learned table related lot of attributes, but now not required. Simply you can put a class table. Automatically it will be having a width and the rows will be there. We can add, so here table dark, and that is the table. So I am adding PG, suppose primary like this. For that, not PG primary, here directly table primary. It will get that and display. We can use table hover. Hover means on mouse over, it will display such animation. Right? So we have like, actually we can apply separate. That means for T head, we are using, suppose applying some BG danger, dark or something. So this is, remove that. You are applying everywhere now. Only this will apply. Right? You can apply for entire table or you can apply for only specific. So table what? Some primary. At any level you can apply that. So this is having another option, table bordered. Bordered will be displayed like borders like this. So we have ready-made table related effects, we can apply them. Table have a responsive option. In previous version, we can directly apply to table, but not now. In latest version, they changed this approach. Responsive means actually, suppose we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So many columns are there. Similarly, I'm having like, so many columns I'm having. Everywhere we can have such options. Usually what happens if there are so many columns, I need to scroll the page left and right. The heading is also scrolling, page is scrolling. We don't want that. Then what you can do is this table, so you copy that table and just keep this table in a container with the class as table responsive. Inside that, put the table. Earlier, we can directly apply it to table, but now they changed that. That means even today, when you see some tutorials online in websites, they will write that in table itself. But that is not working anymore. In latest version, it is changed. So you need to apply for the div, table responsive. Inside that, you need to keep the table. Now it looks responsive. That means only table will scroll, page will not scroll. That is done by using these table elements, right? So just syntactically you apply here. So div contains a class table responsive. And inside that we are defining table. So with a class table hover. So we have like table primary. All these are the options we are having. This is table related. So this is working with tables. I will give one example here, and this is the example for table. That's the example for table. So in Bootstrap, you have separate option for table. Forms we already learned, right? What are the classes from forms, input group? These two already we discussed. In forms itself, I explained them, right? So you remembered all the form classes. That means just I will give a list here. So forms related, what are the classes we are having? What are the classes? We have form label. Label is for labels. We have like form control. It is for text box, numbers, password, email, URL, text area. For them, we can use form control. I given list. Notes also I given, right, while working with forms. We have another one, form select. It is for drop down. We have like form range. Form range is there. We have like form color, form control color or form color is there direct. Form color is there. So we have like form check label. We have like form check input. These are used for radios, right? For radios and checkboxes. For checkboxes, radios extra, we have like form switch, right? So these are the options we discussed about form, right? Anything else? Form file is also there, right? Form file is for input type as file. And already I showed you examples on them. We created forms and we learned. While working with form, one more thing we learned. Input group also. Na? Input group, what options? So font input groups means we have the classes like input group text, input group, and we have input group so small or group, yeah, LG for large, or we can use SM. We have input group text. This also I given examples. So these are already learned. Input group means we learned Amazon search bar, Netflix registers, right? We designed them already. So while learning forms, these all concepts we discussed on. Now text effects, some important already we know. So text classes, we have like text contextual. Contextual means text primary, text danger. These are used for colors. So we have like text center or text start. We have like text end, or we have like text justify. These are for alignments, right? We can keep alignments. Text alignments and text style. We have font styles also, bold, italic, right? If you want to keep such font styles, we have like font weight. Font weight have bold, right? So font weight bold. For example, suppose you are typing something here. So I'm just adding a paragraph, welcome products table. So we have that products table, and we have like class font weight bold. So you can see it will be bold. So font weight bold. So we have like font style as italic. Font style italics. It is this is changed. What is the font style they have given? Font weight, font style. Let's see some change, because this This is very latest. 5.3 is very latest. Very, very new. Let's check. Very new means before we started Bootstrap, it was 2 only. Now it is alpha release. So we will check once. Where is it? In the documents. These options are typography related options. So any changes they are made, we will verify once. Alignments, we already have them. Any changes they made a font size little change. We'll search. Font weight and italics. Where is it? Font weight is there. Font EST, FST, FST, italic. That is one change. Font weight, font FST. FST is what? Italic. You need to keep in touch with that website. Otherwise, new versions changes will be there regularly. So font style, font weight, and already I told you in old version it is not start end. It is left right. Right? Even margins also we have margin L, ML, that is for margin left. Now it is changed to MS. Data BS also same. Data BS is latest. Data target, data toggle, these are the old options, right? Okay, these are the options, and for H1, H2, these are for headings. Block code like this until 6. Block code is also, block code is for block code. For headings, ready-made heading classes are there. Block codes are there. That means actually it will apply automatically. But for example, this is a paragraph. So this is one paragraph actually. This is paragraph. For this paragraph, this is ordinary paragraph. Suppose I applied the class H1, heading 1. It's not heading, but it looks heading. That means in SEO what will happen? It is not treated as heading because we are not using heading element. But it looks like heading 1 style, heading 2 style. We can apply for ordinary text also, right? That you can do. So that is the option. What about color? How to give color for text? That is done by using text contextual. Contextual. We have, these are the classes for text. Syntactically, I will just give here. So we have a class as text primary. We have like font weight bold. We have like font style as italic. And we given some, this is some text we are having. So this is a paragraph, and we have a paragraph class. We have some heading style. So text. So we can put some heading style like. These are for fast application of effects. We can use them. So we have another option, lists also. So we have lists. So that means list classes. List classes we have like list unstyled, styled. We have like a list inline. So list, we have list inline block like this we have. These are related to lists. These are not necessary every time, just keep in note, right? Why? Because already we know how to remove the list styles and all. Suppose if you are, because you use deflex, automatically they will remove the list. Usually when you are writing ordered list, unordered list like things, rough I will give, and you want to remove that numbering or symbols for them, then you can just add them. Already I think one example I showed you. So we have an item, so another item. So these are displaying item. I want to remove them. Actually we can just put a list what unstyled. So you can change. So these are ready-made options which you can apply for them, right? So, but in Bootstrap, our main concentration is working with the components, right? Our major option is working with components. You see, these all components we discussed, right? In this, some components are there. Maximum 4 components are missing because they need combination of styles. That means extra JavaScript jQuery combination you need to handle them, right? Rest of other options are same, right? All others you have seen. Others we will learn with combination of HTML. Okay. So this is Bootstrap related component library. Now we are going to use this library. Why you learned is not just to use this individually. This needs lot of combination of JavaScript and jQuery. With JavaScript, jQuery, we will start implementing this and we can make it more effective, right? Now, once we know this, one important point you should understand. If anybody asks what are the issues that you face with the CSS as developer, that is one important question. What are the issues that you face with CSS as developer? Means you are writing CSS from so many days. Now, anything you felt like is there any shortcut for this? So many times you might have felt that why I should write again and again. Am I right? You have a lot of selectors. We have a lot of selectors. But those selectors are not enough every time. One of the main problem as a developer we face problem with CSS is code reusability. Code reusability is one of the major issue. That means one effect I need to write several times in several places. Suppose you written box shadow. For that we need 4 values, right? It's horizontal, vertical, blur and color. Same box shadow everywhere in the website should be there. Because wherever I am using, I need uniform colors, uniform appearance. Then in 10 places I applied the block shadow. Now if I want to change, I need to change everywhere. Reusability issues will be there, right? So, and not only that, so lot of accessibility issues will be there. We have selectors, that's fine. But through selectors, how you will access all headings at a time. You will use a comma separator. But for every heading, different effect must be there, but all must be accessed. For example, I will give you a simple point here. See, suppose in this page, we have a div. So in that we have a class box1, and I have a div. In that we have a class box2. Like this, suppose there are 10 boxes. We want to access all 10 boxes. And for every box, a different placement should be there. Suppose first box should start with 100. Second box should start with 200. Third box should start with 300. Margins left. Then how do you write? Then we write dot box 1. Can I write comma box 2? No, because both are not same na. That means both are not having same effect. Box 1, one effect I have to write. So similarly, box 2, another effect. Imagine 10 boxes I have to write like this. Then so much logic I need to write. So code reusability, code extensibility. So code extensibility means later if I want to make changes, I need to make change everywhere. So one of the major issues that you face with CSS is, so number one is code reusability. Code reusability is not good in CSS. So code extensibility is not easy. So reusability, extensibility is not easy. So this is very important. And accessibility of elements. Accessibility of elements. So with the selectors is not enough at high level. You need so many more things actually. These are all certain issues that generally we face. In reusability itself, a lot of things will be there. This is what the general issues we face as a developer with CSS. That is the reason at large scale projects where CSS is very much used, there we don't write CSS directly. That means many projects don't use CSS directly. They don't use CSS directly. They use actually, so CSS preprocessors. We can call them as preprocessor, or you can call them as precompilers. CSS preprocessors or CSS precompilers can be used. So what is the advantage of these is actually, so these preprocessors, these are the preprocessors, provide lot of programming features to developer. It will preprocessors provide lot of programming features to developer for writing CSS. Programming features to developer for writing CSS. But what happens is it is a different language which is not understandable to browser. Browser can't understand. Then what is use? That means there are CSS preprocessors. These CSS preprocessors are responsible for providing a lot of features to developers. Programming features especially. Programming features allows reusability, extensibility. So you can handle various interactions. But what is the problem is these processes are not understandable to browsers. That means whatever you write is not understandable to browser. Then what is use? And then actually what you have to do is, so this is to be, it is trans compiled into CSS. It is trans compiled into CSS. That means it is translated into CSS. It is just like suppose. So we have just like we have our prime minister visiting some Germany, and he need to speak to German prime minister, and German prime minister is not good in English. Our prime minister is not good in German, right? Then what is how they communicate? So that means now one point here is important is our prime minister can speak English, but he may not convey everything cleanly in English, right? That means even if he goes in UN, he cannot convey everything purely how he want in English, right? Then what he will do is he will speak his native language, Hindi. He will speak his language, and what happens is there will be an interpreter, right? You see everybody hearing wearing some earpods and so headsets. That is live translating. That means usually you are talking. You can see our prime minister and another prime minister wearing some headsets, but actually there will be some at the far. So translators are sitting. What they are doing is they are understanding and immediately translating, which is heard by the another prime minister. That means immediately translation on spot what he is speaking. That means our final concept is it should be conveyed, but you don't know its language. Then what you have to do? Okay, you write in what you are good in and give it to a translator. It will translate and convert into their format. That is the advantage of preprocessor. Preprocessors are not understandable to browser, but developers will use this so that he can use all his programming techniques and make CSS better. But it will not work in browser. Then it just give it to translator. It will translate and convert that into again CSS. That means you will not write CSS, but finally it will be in CSS. Then what you will write? So we write the preprocessors. The preprocessors are, we have preprocessors like, so one is popular Sass, another one is less. Sass and less are the preprocessors. Even Bootstrap also completely built with Sass. We are here going to learn anyone. We are going to learn Sass. And I will give a document about less. You check it. Why? Because all are not required. And if you learned one, another one also same. Only the point is their words will change. That's it. Right? And it's not necessary to learn Sass because majority of companies are using Sass. Even the Bootstrap that you currently saw is completely built with that language called Sass. So you are using the Bootstrap CSS, but they haven't written directly CSS. They're written in a separate language called Sass. That's right. You can see in their website or anywhere here also. This is Get Bootstrap. And you can see, so it says that, so this is with the Sass. That means they have built everything with Sass. Everything library is in Sass. that Sass is converted into CSS. CSS. Even you downloaded Bootstrap library in node modules. When you go to node modules, you can see in this node modules of Bootstrap, you will find SCSS folder. SCSS folder. In that SCSS folder, you can see these are all Sass files, programs. These are all Sass files. In that you see actually there is Bootstrap SCSS. In Bootstrap SCSS, you see this is Bootstrap programming. This you will learn now. You will see how it will work. You see how many lines are there? 51 lines, some imports are there. Now this Bootstrap SCSS is translated into Bootstrap CSS. And that CSS is provided to you in dist folder. In dist CSS bootstrap.css. This is derived from which Sass file? Bootstrap.scss. And you see that 60 lines is now 10,000 lines. Right? That 60 lines is now 10,000 lines. So that is how it is translated. This becomes easy. That means actually the fastest way of building apps. And remember, if you go to any company and they asked you that I don't know, do you know Sass? And you said I don't know, then it's okay. That's not a concern. That means for that you are not rejected. Right? They will say that, okay, if you don't know Sass, then that's your problem. Why? Because now you have to do a lot of work. If you know Sass, then you will simply design. If you don't know Sass, anyhow, without Sass or with Sass, design it and give. Right? They ask you to design. And they will ask you that, do you know Sass? No. If you don't know, then write in CSS. But sometimes companies are very concerned because already their project is in Sass. In that case, they want mandatory knowledge in Sass for UI people. Why? Because they have to work on existing system. If it is a new system, nobody is concerned about that. But existing system, if already they are using, you must know about it, right? So majority companies are using this Sass. So that's the reason you must know, right? How it helps, that you will see now. So what is Sass and less? What are Sass and less? These are CSS preprocessors or pre-compilers, which allow developers to use all his programming skills and write CSS in such a way that it can be translated into CSS. So, but when he write in programming way, it will be very short. When it is expanded, it becomes lengthy. For example, I will tell you, difference I will show you here. That means how it makes the difference I will tell. Suppose you are writing, so here we are having, so dot box 1, just now I showed you, right? I will give as margin left as 100 pixel. Right? I defined similarly box 2. This is margin left. So margin left as 200 pixel. So we have box 3. So this is margin left. So margin left as 300 pixel. Like this, if there are 10 boxes, you have to write 10 times them. Is there any another shortcut will you suggest here? Up to now, based on what you have learned, is there any another shortcut that you will suggest for this? Means any another shortcut way I can write for all these 3 boxes? There is no chance. Can I use box 1, comma, box 2, box 3? No. All are different effects. But now what Sass developer will do? He will write like, so he will write like for, so I is I from 1 through, so some 10. If it is 3, 3, 10, 10 boxes. From 1 through 10, what it will do is, it will put here simply. So we will write, so dot box and box hyphen. After box hyphen, that number is changing. We will put as I, dollar I. Dollar I means first time it will be 1, second time it will be 2, third time it will be 3 until 10. What will happen here? We will write margin left. Margin left, what will be there? Dollar I into 100 pixels. We write like this, and that is the logic. Finish. Even for 100 boxes also same code. Just you have to change this to 100. Right? But here it will be 100 times. 100 times. That means here what will happen first time? I value will be how much? 1. That means it will be how much? Box 1. Box 1 into 100. That is 100. So first box will be at which one? 100. After this 1 is finished, then 1 is increased by 1. That means it will be 2. That means this time, so I value is how much? 2. That means the 2 is assigned here, box 2. Then 2 into 100, 200. Like that up to 10. This makes easy. But these are programming features. You need to little bit put the programming skills now. You have to learn that. Right? Actually, it is good after learning JavaScript. Because in JavaScript, you will learn programming. But it's okay. We will learn here first with all basic things. With the JavaScript knowledge, we can make it more better. Just like how we done our CSS part also. That means along with HTML, we learned. By the time we finish HTML, we know a lot of CSS. Then CSS becomes easy. Same concept here. So what we will do, we will see how we can use this Sass programming and make our CSS simple. Right? Let's see how to do that. That is the advantage now, right? That means that left side will be hundreds of lines. Now here there will be only 4 lines. Right? That is the approach. Let's see how it can happen, because this is all you are going to learn. So Sass, in order to use Sass, it will not directly work. Actually, what is the concept of Sass? It is syntactically so awesome style sheet. Syntactically awesome style sheet. That is the full form of Sass. Syntactically awesome style sheet. And what is the concept of Sass? It is a CSS preprocessor. So it provides programming features to make CSS simplified. So it enables reusability and easy extendability. Reusability and easy extensibility. It can handle that. So it is a CSS preprocessor. It provides programming features to make CSS simplified. So, but very important is, so it is transcompiled into CSS. It is transcompiled into CSS. Translated into CSS. So here, directly Sass will not work in your computers. You need to separately install it. That means every computer is not enabled with Sass. You need to install this software. Right? What we have to do is, so install Sass on your PC. Just you need to do this. So from your terminal, you have installed all same. Actually, from your command prompt, from your Windows command prompt, or anywhere in your project terminal also, because it is a command prompt only. You have to use npm install globally Sass. This command you have to run. Don't forget that G global. Otherwise, Sass will work only in the location where you install. Globally means it will be working everywhere. Now, in your computer, any project can use Sass. That means not only our web app. Later, you are using .NET, Java, PHP, Python on your computers, React, Angular. There also Sass works now. So for everyone, install is only one. Right? You install globally, it will work for every project. That means even Java projects can use Sass now. .NET, PHP, Python projects can use them, or React, Angular can use them. Right? So what you do, open your command prompt here, npm install globally what Sass. So this is downloading and installing Sass on our PC. This is downloading and installing the Sass. Right? Now once it is downloaded and installed successfully, now what you have to do is, so now you can use in your project. So what we will do is all our Sass files, so we will keep in a separate folder, SCSS, a separate folder. Right? So after that, create a new folder in your project, and this is your project by name SCSS. And very important, so add a new file with the extension .scss. That means effects.scss. That is the file. You have to write the code in this SCSS file. After writing the code in SCSS file, what you have to do, translate that code into CSS, and you have to link CSS only. So can you link SCSS to web page? No. SCSS only for developer. SCSS is only for developer. So SCSS you cannot link to web page. Which one you have to link? CSS. So after writing your code inside this, I will tell you a simple code here. See, means I will show you a folder, Sass examples. I will add a new page, some index.html. Now see, I am creating a simple approach. So we have a div, class, container, and heading. So we have some Sass, and we have a paragraph, some syntactically, awesome style sheet. Okay. Actually, now I want to apply one effect to container and one different effect to heading in container, because headings may be outside container, but headings in container should have different effect. Paragraph in container should have different effect. Then how do we write in general CSS? In general CSS, we write container. For container, we want some effects. Then we will write container related effects. After that, heading in container should have some effects. Then what we do? Container space heading. Right? Why? Because headings may be outside also. After that, what we do? We have container paragraph, because paragraph can be outside also. This is how we write. The hierarchy we maintain by using selectors, but it is not required now. It is not required. We don't need the hierarchy of selectors. What you can do is, see, I will go to the SCSS and add a new file. fx.scss. fx.scss. Here we are writing simply, first I am writing dot container. All style attributes are same. Dot container. Okay. For container, what effects you want? For container, I want a border, some 1-2 pixel solid, some red. Okay. For container, I'm just giving padding as 20 pixel. For container, I am giving, this is enough, right? Some background color, some yellow. Okay. Now for heading in container, I want some effects. Directly you write heading here now. You don't need a child selector. In page, how it is present, in the same hierarchy you can write, which is not possible in CSS. In CSS, we have to use selectors. Now here I can directly write for heading, so color, I want red. And for paragraph, which is present in same container, I will put color as some blue, like this. I said some font weight as italic. So font weight, font style as italic, like this I am defining. Suppose color I said some gray, like this we define. Now important is all this is without using any extra selectors. That means in the page how it is present, in the same way we are writing. Hierarchy is same, which is never possible in CSS. Now how this is translated into CSS? To translate this into CSS, I will copy this code. After that, what we have to do is now open the Sass file location in terminal. Open the Sass file location in terminal. You have to open the Sass file location in terminal. Where is that Sass file? Open its location in terminal. That means what you do, you have D:, your project. Am I right? In that project, we have created a separate folder called SCSS. This folder you have to open. After that, so you need to change to that folder, right? In command prompt, in terminal. Here we have to run command Sass. So the file fx.scss space fx.css. That means now what it will do is, it will create a new file called fx.css. This entire code is converted into CSS code and copied. So that means you don't write, you write your shortcut way. It will take care about conversions. Right? You don't worry about that selectors and all. You write in your own way. That means now see, open this location, open in terminal. This is opened in terminal. Here what we have to do, we need to run the command sass fx.scss space fx.css. Make sure that you are in the same folder where that file is. Otherwise, it says file not found. Right? Okay, enter. When I hit enter, you can see immediately a CSS file is copied here. Actually, we have only a CSS file. It creates a CSS file. It will have a supporting map file, which is used by internally for updating from one version to another. If later you are updating from one version to another, all its metadata is present in that map. You don't need that file. We need only this file. And observe the code now in that file. Let's go to that CSS file. The code is as we were doing earlier. right? The code is as we were doing earlier, but here we made it simple, right? That means this is not simple. Actually, we can make it more shorter. That's what you will learn now in how we can do it. But here we reduced the problem of selectors, child selectors. Now what we have to do, just link which one to link. You cannot link SCSS file. You have to link which file. Link relation is a style sheet. Link href is what it is in which folder. So SCSS in SCSS effects.cs. And now you run this page and you can see all effects are same. And remember, you do modification in the SCSS file. That means I am changing the color so to blue. After every modification, you need to compile again. It is a programming rule. In any software programming, you modify the original, then you need to recompile it again and again. Any small modification, you have to compile. That's a basic programming rule. Otherwise, it will not affect here. It will not affect here. Just we need to open terminal, again run the same command again. Same command. It will translate and the new updates are pushed into CSS and it will change that color. Any changes you are making, you need to recompile. Then if anyone asks like, can I edit directly CSS? You can edit directly CSS. But again, you are disturbing the environment, right? So developers are not asked with this knowledge of Sass every time. Only very rare projects. Rare projects means these days CSS becoming very mandatory and very large scale. People are using CSS in large scale means they compulsory ask Sass, right? So if small scale projects, they don't ask. They directly use general CSS. If CSS is more, then this Sass will help them in more better way. Right? That is the reason you need to know this, how to handle. Now in this, we will learn programming. So in Sass, we have a lot of programming like variables, data types, operators, statements, functions, so much that we will see in next session. Right? Tomorrow we will do that. All right? Yeah.